And lots of contact, no call here. The Trojans scrapping to retain possession. Washington, 14 on the shot clock. Working around the sandwich screen, tries to flip it up inside. This time she does so, and it's through the hands of Braylee Gula. Under 4 minutes, possession is now back with the Judson Eagles. And it appears the wheels might be falling off a little bit for Trinity. This time, here's Quintana. Looking to continue her impressive second half. Looked like she might have carried with it, but no call. But things just not going their way. 2 minutes left, and it seems like the Eagles will call off the Dogs for the most part. Quintana, Wolf, and Kimball, a trio of their stars this afternoon, will head to the bench. Sheblo will stay in, as she will continue to enjoy the opportunity to play against her former teammates back here at TIU. Not her magnum opus by any stretch, but it seems like they'll get the only stat that matters, and that's the W. Amber Reynolds connects on the first free throw. Reynolds has had a nice afternoon, 2 out of 5 from beyond the arc. Both free throws on the money from Amber, as she is up to 8 points on the afternoon. They'll need her to continue to step up. She's a key player for the Trojans. She's providing that outside threat. If she can continue to up her efficiency, she'll be a dangerous scoring option for TIU. The next one will put the Trojans over the limit, but that one will not. So an inbound under the goal for Sheblo and the Judson Eagles. Sheblo over to Ringel, back to Sheblo. Now Bayer puts up the mid-range J, no good. Washington will slow it up, wait for her teammates to arrive. Here's Gula. Gula will go to work on the inside once again. Twisting, and there was nobody there to be the recipient of that pass. Carlson trying to take the story of this afternoon. Just a lot of second chances for the Judson Eagles and some timely shots, and that has been the difference here in what will go down as a more competitive contest than the final scoreline would indicate. Some late action here for the freshman, the local from Grace Lake, Illinois, Jasmine Smith, number 35 in white. With this one mainly decided, always good to see some players with that potential for the future in action. Oh, perhaps an unfortunate missed opportunity for the Trojans. They will drop to 2-15 on the year, lose their 11th straight. But they will have a nice opportunity come Thursday afternoon. They will travel to Watertown, Wisconsin to take on Maranatha to regroup and practice, have a little bit of time to rest up once again, and come in fresh and ready to compete against the Sabercats of Maranatha Baptist on the road on Thursday night. First one is good from Carly Sheblo. 4 points for the former Trojan. The second one no good. And another offensive board for the Eagles. Just as salt in the wound at this point. Here's Carlson. Over to Sheblo. Working her way inside is Ringo. It's going to go the other way as she walked with it. 13 seconds left. The Trojans will perhaps look for one more bucket here. Solid stretches of play, diverse contributions, but just not the result they were looking for. This one swatted down. Three-pointer fired up and no good from Jasmine Smith, who hoisted it up at the gun. This one is in the books, an entertaining contest to be sure. But the final score, the Judson Eagles 61 and your TIU Trojans 45. TIU with a balanced offensive effort. Amber Reynolds, a solid game. She put up 10 for the Trojans. Denaria Washington with 9, and an impressive bit of work from Braley. 4 scorers in double figures for Judson. Audrey Quintana and Sydney Novak, very impressive, especially down the stretch. 13 apiece for them. Addie Ringel and Sydney Wolf with 10 points each, as the two teams will gather at midcourt to say a prayer and wish each other well the rest of the season. Well, it was a fun one, not the result that the Trojans were seeking, but don't forget, stay with us momentarily. We have got the Trojan men against the Judson men coming up shortly. Should be a fun one with the high-flying and fast-paced squad that thank you for our student athletes and coaches as we step out onto the court and use the talents and abilities you've given us for your glory. We ask that you watch over us this afternoon as our athletes compete and keep them safe from all harm. In your name we pray. Amen. Line up for your TIU Trojans! And guard is 6-foot sophomore from Bolingbrook, Illinois. Oswego, Illinois, number 22, Jack Cahoon. At forward is 6'3". Well, as promised, folks, we are right back in action.
I think the string's off. You got the red.
No, it's moving. There's something wrong with this. He was saying that it was working or something.
Oh, okay.
Sorry for the confusion there. We're right back in action here. Three-pointer splashed down by Antarius Ryan, the Memphis native, the junior, getting Judson on the board. Here go the Trojans. Diamond Presniakovis, the combustible scorer on the inside. No good here. Rebound snared by Sam Stewart. Here goes Javaris Wiggins getting his first touch decisively to the cup, and a foul is going to be called against Brandon Lawani. Didn't look like too much against Lawani, but it was to play fast. A lot of possessions for both sides in games played by the Trojans. Lot of transition offense, lots of fast-moving half-court sets. Here is Javaris Wiggins working against Aaron Sufer, who's getting the start today. They work it on the outside. Three-pointer rolls off the tin. Rebound, hauled in, and finished off by Nehemiah Jones. Good size on this Judson team, and they're using it to great effect there. We've seen Sam Stewart at 6'9" and Nehemiah Jones at 6'5", both featuring prominently. Smart play by Sufer as he hauls that one in and puts it off the back of Jones over to Sufer. Sufer working against Wiggins. Here's Cahoon. He thought about a triple, but it is going the other way. A lot of guys handle the ball. A lot of guys get chances. The Trojans, as here's the three-pointer, no good. Rebound, Lawani. Trojans are led by Keontae Thomas, Diamond Presniakovis, Brandon Lawani, each over 10 points per game. Here's the three-pointer by Jack Cahoon. Big shot from the Trinity sharpshooter. A lot of offensive antics on both ends. It has lived up to the billing. Xavier Cooper, very solid player for the Trojans. They bring him off the bench in this look, but he is going to factor prominently in this contest, no doubt about it. Brandon Lawani, triple, no good. Rebound by Jones. Lawani can do that a little bit. He's a force on the inside, but he's got a nice touch when he comes wide open for three. He is not afraid to shoot it. Here's Jones. Had it knocked free. Now women's volleyball team taking home the Christian College National Championship. Really fun time, but lots of great stuff on the docket here too. Obviously both basketball teams in action. You've got plenty of other spring sports on tap. Baseball, softball, men's volleyball. Lots to look forward to. But meanwhile, plenty of entertainment right here as this three spins out on the effort from Coop. Now scratch that, rather the contact going against 24 in blue, not 24 in gray, it appears. So they tab Leonard Wilson for that one, and it'll stay with the Trojans. Substitutions for both sides. Presniakovis and Lawani will head to the bench. A couple of the top dogs on the offensive end for TIU. Jaden Thomas, a long-range sniper, will get his first action, and Asher Blum, the big physical presence down low, also checking in. Blum forcing his way through contact, and he will go to the line. Bird spinning inside. And a reach in is going to be called. It'll stay with Judson. So we saw this in the women's game. Not a lot of physicality would go without a whistle. And it seems like it's going to be similar in this one. 9 fouls already through the first 7+ minutes of play. The women's contest that preceded this one was a lot of fun, with the Trojans ultimately falling to Judson. We'll see if the guys can exact a little bit of revenge. Open three for Wiggins on the money. And Judson is doubling up Trinity. An ambush on the road. Cooper looking to go right to the rack, and he does so. Xavier Cooper putting his head down and getting to the cup when his team needed him most. Trey Spires into the ballgame now. The Chicago native inside to Wiggins. Never handled it cleanly. Back out to Spires. Spires with a nice move. Lost Thomas for a second, and now it's poked free by Jaden Thomas. And the Trojans come away with it. Active hands by Jaden Thomas forcing the turnover. Keontae Thomas to Jaden Thomas. Jaden pulls the three. No good, but Cahoon with a great physical rebound, leaping over the head of Javaris Wiggins, who wanted a call. Trojans starting to show some life. Good defensive effort by Keontae Thomas, forcing Spires way away from the basket. Tough effort inside. Good rebound by Bird, and he's stifled. Calmly slinging the one-handed pass was Blum. 2-on-1 mishandled by Keontae Thomas. So that's the look the Trojans want there, coming out in transition, working quickly. Credit to Blum for starting the break. But the pass just a little bit too short, bit of a short hop, caught Thomas in between, and miscommunication between a couple of the Trojan stars on that possession. Here goes Spires. Judson showing the willingness to rotate early and often. Depth is not one of their issues. Takes it to the cup. He drew the contact, and it'll be an inbound on the baseline. 10th foul already in less than 10 minutes. It's like the officials' lungs are going to get quite the workout with those whistles today. Here's Jones. He's had a hot start to this one. Driving on the inside, Isaiah Bird. Scoop shot layup. Boy, that would have been nifty if he would have got it to go, but good defense on the inside by Blum to force the miss. Stratton Lovorn over to Blum. Blum will put up a three off the front rim. Stratton Lovorn in the game for the first time. He's continuing to earn more minutes in this Trojan rotation. Really skilled freshman on both ends of the floor. But the three-pointer from Leonard Wilson, the junior, giving the freshman a tough lesson there. The step-back three, that was a good contest from Lovorn. Not much you can do about that. Good defense, better shot. Monte lasting to the rack, and a terrific finish from him. So all in all, a really nice start from the Judson Eagles on the road going against TIU, and we'll see if the Trojans can tap into their offensive prowess and make something happen. Lovorn pulls up a three looking for the answer. It is no good, however. Foul on the floor, and it'll stay with the Trojans. Blasting to the rim as Thomas, he gets the bucket. Thomas doing it on the inside, doing it on the outside, making it happen for the Trojans. He has now got 5. To the inside. It's good for Jack Keller. So Judson maintaining the advantage. Bird nearly stripped it away from Cooper. In the air, what a find. Cooper to Stratton Lovorn, who contorts his body and shows off the athletic ability with a nice finish there. Spires to Bisanthony. Knocked away. More great activity on the defensive end from Jaden Thomas. Some great action here early. Highlight reel plays on both sides. Step back threes. Alley-oop finishes. High flying drives to the rack. It has been a lot of fun so far, but it would be more fun if the Trojans could find a way to pick up the advantage here. They're trailing by 7. To the inside, Wilson, who hit that unreal step back with Lovorn in his face earlier. Now here's Bird, shot clock running down, 3 on the clock. He pulls up and hits, and Jaden Thomas had a good closeout there. Boy, these Judson shooters just unfazed by the Trinity contests. The definition of good defense, better offense, and speaking of great offense, there's Xavier Cooper with the three. He had one rim out earlier. This time he makes no mistake, plunges it through the cylinder, and it's just a 6-point lead. Three-pointer, Keller, no good. Cooper taking it in stride all the way to the rack. He'll lay it up and in. Cooper. Snabio Kone. Kone, the native of Bamako, out to Presniakovis, or rather Cahoon, excuse me. That's his first miss from the field. Spires navigating through a couple of Trojans, stripped away and flung forward by Cooper, or rather Thomas, who gets his man in the air, gets it to Cahoon, who's got it. So great play by Xavier Cooper, a highlight reel moment as he forces the turnover and just flings it from the keister. Keontae Thomas with a pump fake to get his man in the air, and then Jack Cahoon with the finish. He's got himself 9 points to lead the way, and all of a sudden, we are not fell the Trojans and Homer Ziliad. It seems like a comeback could very much be in store. 34 apiece, and all the momentum residing in the Trojan camp here, playing in front of their home crowd. Xavier Cooper and Jack Cahoon leading the way for the Trojans with 7 and 9 points respectively. Now can they make a defensive stand? Keller over to Wiggins, free to fire, no good. Bird grabbing the board over Cooper. Anthony showing off some nice moves for a big fella there. To the cup is Wiggins, nice scoop shot reverse to pull Judson back ahead by a hair. Thomas inside, draws the contact. Thomas flinging himself willy-nilly in the paint, but there was a method to his madness, and he'll get to the charity stripe. Keontae Thomas, 3 points so far today. He is Trinity's leading scorer on the year. All the way, and now he flips it out of bounds. Made up his mind too late, and the errant pass could not be corralled by Jack Keller. Under 6 to play now. The breakneck pace continues. A brief interlude as it's rolled in by Presniakovis. Thomas working against Spires. Little handoff, give and go. Now Cooper, who's had the hot hand early, coming off the bench. He's been really impressive. To the inside, Lawani with one of those patented forceful jabs, gets it out to Cooper. No good. Tip up and no good. Anthony corrals it and takes the contact below the Trojan goal. Both teams are over the limit. 9 fouls against the Trojans, so the next Trinity foul will put Judson at the stripe for 2. 8 fouls against the Judson Eagles. So it'll be a 1-and-1 for Brighton Anthony, the Miami native. Transfer from Davis and Elkins College, no good there. So a couple of 1-and-1 missed opportunities for Judson to have a bigger lead than just the 1 point they have. Here's Lawani on the money from downtown, Brandon Lawani. And the Trojans have their first lead. Brandon Lawani does most of his work on the interior, but he's got a nice touch from outside. Now this one, Plink going around and coming back to the Trojans. Presniakovis lays it up and in. And Trinity is firing on all cylinders now. They've hit their stride at the right time, and they have eked out a 4-point advantage. Here's Keller on the triple. He's good. Big time answer from Jack Keller. He's hit a couple of long-range trays today. Presniakovis to Lawani. Lawani versus Anthony. Double team comes from Bird, but he's too strong and too athletic. Great touch from Lawani on the turnaround, mid-range J. Here goes Wiggins. Outside to Bird. Anthony has it picked clean. Keontae Thomas looking to go coast to coast. Oh, he almost jammed it down. Cooper's got the rebound, and on the third effort of the possession, he will go to the line. Oh, boy. Keontae Thomas took flight and very nearly caught a body. That was an impressive bit of work from Thomas, just barely unable to finish. Coach Miller greeting him with a smile there, and Thomas knows he just missed an epic moment here at Van Dixhorn in front of the home crowd. Instead, it's Cooper at the line, and the first one spinning out. Xavier Cooper, a swingman of sorts. This guy will do anything. I mean, he is just a jack of all trades for this team. He can score, he can rebound, he can defend, he can pass. He can start. He can come off the bench. It's just such a relief for Coach Greg Miller to have a guy like this on his squad who you can put him in any type of a role, and he will be excellent. Cooper hits the second. Here goes Antares Ryan. Bird will pull from long range off the back heel. Lawani swats out the board to Cooper. Cooper, a nifty pass. No good from Presniakovis, but Cooper's got the board again, putting in work on the offensive glass. And Judson wants a timeout. Trinity has come all the way back, and they've got a 6-point advantage. They've got all the momentum. They're firing on all cylinders. And head coach Bruce Fields and the Judson Eagles frustrated, especially by the bully ball physical presence of Xavier Cooper, who is imposing his will on the inside. Cooper up to 10 points, 5 boards, and 3 assists. Might have to put him on the triple-double watch. An outstanding effort from him. Jack Cahoon, an efficient 9 points on 4 of 6. We've seen contributions from up and down the Trojan lineup. Brandon Lawani with 7 of his own. 9 different Trojans in the score sheet today. And that's when this team is at its best. It's not the games where Thomas or Presniakovis or Lawani really have to take center stage. It's those times when the whole team is really feeling it. They're creating great looks for each other. They're working quickly. They're getting great chances. That's when the Trojans are their best. That's when they're the most fun to watch. And that's what we've seen throughout the latter portion of this opening stanza. Nearly halfway home on a Saturday afternoon, 3:39 on the clock as Judson inbounds. The Trojans throwing him a curveball here, full court press. But it's dissected by the Eagles. They were not caught off guard, and Nehemiah Jones gets the finish. Keontae Thomas. Now Cooper to Presniakovis to the inside, and Lawani. And some contact under the cup. It's going to go against Nehemiah Jones. So a couple of fouls already against Nehemiah Jones. That's his third, in fact. And that could be a storyline to keep an eye on, as he is among the lead scorers for Judson. 7 points on a perfect 3 of 3 from the field. Foul trouble definitely rearing its ugly head for the visitors here. Brighton Bisanthony also has got 3 fouls of his own, so late in the first half, we'll see if Coach Fields has to make an adjustment here. Driving to the rack is Ryan, and he's able to draw the foul as he torpedoed into the stanchion. Hopefully he's all right. Looks like he's going to stay in the ball game for the moment, but a little banged up is Ryan. Seemingly working out his wrist here, his right wrist. Now a nice inbound, but smoked on the inside by Bird. A rare miss from a very solid established scorer for Judson. Almost and really athletic finish from Cooper, but that one's no good. Now ahead of the pack is Keller, and he's able to lay it up and in. Judson keeping pace with the Trojans. Well, I feel like I say it every time I'm on the broadcast, but the last few minutes of a half have got such a huge impact on the rest of the ball game. How you head into the half, what kind of adjustments you feel like you need to make, depending on the size of your lead or deficit. We'll see how the Trojans close this half out here. Last few possessions could be huge. Presniakovis twirling in the post. No good. Rebound snared by Jones, who continues to play with 3 personals. Keller. Over to Bird. Keller firing away. No good this time. Rebound, though, for Judson. Stolen away by Cooper. Boy, he is doing everything for the Trojans today. And Jack Cahoon takes the bump. He will head to the line. Boy, Xavier Cooper's impact just absolutely colossal on both ends of the floor. And he is showing it off today in a big way coming off the bench for the Trojans. He has been arguably their best player so far. Another man who's had an outstanding game, Jack Cahoon, though he does have a couple of free throw misses. Very uncharacteristic for him. Cahoon looking to get into double figures. This one's no good, so the third missed free throw for the sharpshooter. Definitely a rarity. Still a solid effort for Jack, and no doubt he'll get back on track. That's what the great shooters do. Good ball movement here. Jones with the pull-up. Couple of Trojans converge on the board. Cooper's the one who ends up coming away with it. Yet another board for Xavier Cooper. Keontae Thomas setting up the offense as we get down to 90 seconds to play. Presniakovis bull rushes his way to the cylinder. And that is what he does so well. Big and physical. Plays bigger than his size even because of how determined he is to get to the cup. Just old school bully ball from 23 in gray. Trojans by 6. Keller to the outside. They get it to the corner. Bird, good closeout by Cooper. Forced the air ball. Now Presniakovis streaking down the floor. Bounce pass inside. Hanging in the air was Thomas, but he could not finish. And now an Eagle down on the floor. I believe that's Nehemiah Jones. As he's on his feet. It's a little bit shaken up, perhaps a knee injury. Seems a bit hobbled, but looks to be okay as he will stay in. Despite the 3 fouls, now a down court pass. And it's intercepted by the Trojans, went through the hands of Presniakovis, but cleaned up by Cooper. An ill-advised play by Judson trying to catch the Trojans off guard. They could not. And it's going to go the other way here. So the two teams trading miscues. As we're now in the final minute of a riveting first half of play. The Trojans have mounted an impressive comeback and now lead by a 6-point margin in a period where they trailed by as many as 9. Kone and Lambert checking in for the final minute, possibly for defensive purposes. There's the cut toward the inside, and a foul is going to go against Cooper, who shows good sportsmanship as he makes sure that Javaris Wiggins does not take a spill there. Wiggins will go to the line to shoot a pair, both teams over both limits. 10 plus fouls for each side. Wiggins' first free throw is money. He has now got himself 10 points. That leads the way for the Judson Eagles. Wiggins, when he's been on the floor, has been extremely driven. Loves to get to the cup, loves to force the contact, And it showed as he takes his 4th free throw attempt of the afternoon, though this one is no good and rebounded by Trinity. Trojans have a chance to go for a 2-for-1 here if they work quickly. It looks like they will not. Instead, electing to run through their full offensive set and get a quality look. Here's Lambert. He explodes to the cup. Lawani looking for the board, but Wiggins comes out of the pack with it. Wiggins dishes to Bird, who suspends himself between a couple of Trojan defenders and gets the finish. Seconds remaining. Cooper to the rack, draws the foul. And another player shaken up. That is Ryan. He's up to his feet quickly. But Cooper has been bringing the fight to the Eagles throughout this ball game. An outstanding first half from him. 10 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 dimes. He is already hanging on the precipice of a double-double in this one. And a triple-double not out of reach. You would have to have a terrific passing second half. The first one's no good. Couple of substitutions. Aaron Sufer checking back in after he got the start this afternoon. 12 seconds remain, so Judson will have a chance, assuming they get the rebound here, to get a quality possession. They don't get the rebound. It's Lambert with it. Cooper to the cup. No good. Soaring forward is Kone. He's unable to grab it. Now into the backcourt. Racing to the bucket is Wiggins, and it's no good at the gun. So the Trojans close out the first half strong. They take the final punch from Judson and retain a 3-point advantage. Boy, a fast-paced, fun first half of play. Lots of action, and no doubt there is going to be plenty more. So come back and join us for the second 20 minutes in what's been a thrilling contest so far. Your halftime score from Van Dixon Arena, the Trojans 49 and the visiting Judson Eagles 46. We'll be back with you shortly. Back inside Van Dixhorn Arena. This is Ethan Oskroba with you, and we are moments away from the start of the second half, following an entertaining opening 20 minutes between the hometown TIU Trojans and the visiting Judson University Eagles. The Eagles came out firing. They opened up a 9-point edge in the early stages of this contest. But Trinity stayed calm and collected and trusted in their offensive firepower, which they then showcased in a big way en route to a 3-point halftime lead. It's been a diverse offensive attack from the Trojans, who have gotten contributions from a total of 9 different scorers. Xavier Cooper leading the way, coming off the bench today for Trinity. Some great defensive plays, as well as 10 points, 8 boards, and 3 assists. So that double-double seems to be almost a cinch. We'll see if he can really ignite the passing game in the second half and give a shot at a triple-double here. But he's been outstanding one way or another. Brandon Lawani with 9 points. Jack Cahoon with 9 points. Balanced effort from the Trojans, and they will look to continue to play solid basketball, especially on the offensive end of the second half. They shot 43% from the field, including 50% from downtown. They'll need to improve at the charity stripe, just 5 for 13 on the easiest shot in basketball. So some room for improvement there, but overall they've done a good job creating possessions, forcing a few timely turnovers, getting out and running in transition, and that has been what's led to them being able to erase the deficit and now bring a little bit of an advantage into the final 20 minutes of play. But still, a lot to be decided. This is a Judson Eagle team that I think many thought that the Trojans would just roll over. Just 5 wins for Judson this season. But they're showing some resistance. They've got a lot of talent, a very deep roster, and they are providing a significant obstacle to a Trojan victory that would put them 2 games above 500. Should they be able to pull it out. We've seen momentum swings for both squads. It'll be interesting to see who's able to harness the energy and come out swinging to start the second half, which we are just seconds away from now. The Trojans in their home grays, Judson in their navy uniforms. Out there for Trinity, it's Keontae Thomas, Brandon Lawani, Diamond Presniakovis, Jack Cahoon, and Xavier Cooper. So minimal changes from their earlier starting lineup. Just getting Cooper out there. Would be very hard to see him being on the bench much with the way that he has played in the first half. Lawani getting a post touch. He'll work against Sam Stewart. Jump stop. Teardrop is good. Nice finish by Brandon Lawani. Boy, he just looks so relaxed out there in the post. So comfortable. Trojans by 5 now. And Terrace Ryan into Stewart. We didn't see that much of Stewart throughout the later stages of the half. To the inside, and a pitch shot is on the money from Nehemiah Jones. So Jones has had a hot start here. He's got 9. Presniakovis to the cup. Athletic finish using that long right arm to kiss it off glass. So both teams coming out firing here. Jack Keller to the inside. Ryan, nice dish and flushed home by Sam Stewart. Stewart's first points of the afternoon. Cahoon to the cup, and it looked like Jones was standing out of bounds when he grabbed that, but the officials saying that was not the case. And coast to coast from Javaris Wiggins, who has really showed a proclivity to take it the length of the floor and to the rim with some intention. Now another teardrop from Lawani. That's a nearly unguardable shot, and he makes good on it here. So 6 points for each squad, and we're just over a minute and a half in, and making 8 points now for Judson, as this one's on the money from Ryan. So if you thought the opening 20 minutes were fast, boy, buckle up. This is something else entirely, as Stewart will get called for the violation. Sam Stewart was able to get that dunk, but Brandon Lawani giving him fits on the inside. We'll see if the Trojans keep feeding 24. Instead, it's 23 with the quick finish off the inbound. Nicely read. Great inbound pass and a nice finish by Diamond Presniakovas. That's what Diamond does. He's not always the flashiest scorer, but you look up at the score sheet, and he always gets buckets. He always finds a way. That is just a ball player, a true scorer, 23 in gray. To the cup with a free lane is Jones, and he lays it in. Well-designed sequence from Judson as they cut the deficit to 1 after Jones got free. Jones now in double figures. He's got 11. Cooper to the inside. Good find. Presniakovas with the finish. Diamond going to work, and the feed from Cooper created that. They respect his long-range shot, closed out harshly, and that freed up Presniakovas with the open space on the inside to go to work and get the bucket. Baseline foul is going to be called against Cahoon, who is bewildered by that call. Did not look like a whole lot of contact. Well, things are getting serious now with Xavier Cooper, folks. 10 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and we'll continue to keep an eye on that developing story as this one continues. Meanwhile, this game staying tight and very relevant as well, as Jack Keller has quietly worked his way into double figures. Nice turnaround finish from him there. Trojans staying in front by the slimmest of margins. Now here's Presniakovas. Again, the bull rush to the glass. And a quality finish. Presniakovas is getting after it here in the second half. He can get hot in a hurry. And he's doing that right now. To the inside. And it's good. Nehemiah Jones, and it is just punch and counter punch at this point. A heavyweight fight at Van Dixhorn. Cooper going up and draws the foul. A bit of a late whistle causing some frustration from Judson here. Stewart will have to head to the bench. That is going to be his third personal. And 3 Judson Eagles with 3 fouls. And all of them big men. DeSanthony, Stewart, and Nehemiah Jones all in a little bit of foul trouble. Coach Fields here trusting Jones to play through that, and he's done a nice job after he picked up his 3rd foul not too far into the first half. Cooper will have a chance to add to his already impressive totals here. Free throw is on the money. Boy, this second half has just been absolutely thrilling. Teams just going at it. It's almost got an NBA All-Star game type of vibe, with both teams just flying down the floor. Terrific offensive work and little defense to speak of, which is, of course, something the Trojans will want to work on. Cooper hits a pair. That'll put him at 12 on the day. To the corner, Keller hoists it up. Wiggins to the inside, Jones through some contact, but it was a clean block by Brandon Lawani. Lawani making his presence known on both ends. Presniakovas trying to go to the cup, and why not? And he draws the foul. So Diamond Presniakovas will head to the free throw line. And Presniakovas has absolutely caught fire here in the second half. He has just been clobbering his way to the bucket. As the first one, no good. But in the blink of an eye, he has got 12 points for the Trojans. A voracious hunger around the cup to put that thing through the cylinder, and he has been impressive, though he'll miss a pair on this occasion from the charity stripe. 16 minutes to go, but with the way this thing has been going, that feels like an eternity right now. So much to be decided. The Trojans managing to stay in front, but Judson will not let them get much separation. Keeping them on the leash here, so to speak. Good hands by Keontae Thomas. It'll stay with the Eagles. Inbound from Wiggins. Looking for the high lob. Instead, he'll have to pitch it on out to Bisanthony, who's playing with 3. Wiggins. Nifty moves, and he'll drive to the bucket again. Good block by Jaden Thomas. Here comes Cooper getting a chance to run the point to the corner. Keontae show and go to the cup, falling away, and he draws the contact again. So really intelligent play by the Trojans. They know the way the officials are calling it, and they are just exploding their way to the bucket. That was very nearly an acrobatic finish on the flexible release from Keontae Thomas, but instead he will get to shoot a pair. The first one no good as the Trojans continue to struggle from the line. And that's the missing piece, I suppose. Trinity has been at the charity stripe frequently. They ought to be getting some frequent flyer miles with how much they have soared to the rim and taken contact, but now another free throw no good. They are 7 out of 19 from the free throw line, and should things go sideways, that is definitely something that you'd be very frustrated about. One of the things that is very controllable in this sport and drives coaches crazy when you're not converting there. Nice finish by Antares Ryan, and now it's just a 1-point Trinity lead. They've missed their last 4 at the free throw line and definitely paying for that. Here's Lawani. Spin move. Look to take some contact, but it does not matter. Brandon Lawani finishing strong. And the Trojans going crazy on the offensive end. Ryan over to Keller. Keller to Wiggins. Wiggins trapped in the corner. The Trojans using the sideline as a third defender, but he gets it away. Now to the opposite corner. Bisanthony puts it on the deck, levitates through the air, but it is plucked out of the sky by Cooper. To the corner. Jaden Thomas. Oh, he started shuffling away like he knew he had it. Just barely off, though. Lawani's won't go in either. Tough luck for the Trojans. Nearly a down and back now from Ryan, and a timeout is called by Seth Gold, who's just entered the game for the first time. Oh, my goodness. With the amount of scoring that we have seen, it feels like there should be about 5 minutes left in this game, not just over 5 minutes played in the second half. Both these teams could easily eclipse the century mark. And this has just been non-stop, thrilling action, down and back and down and back. You'd have neck soreness from watching this ball game, having to turn your head to follow the action on both ends of the floor. I'm sure both the coaches see things they want to work on, especially defensively, slowing up the fast break. But man, as a commentator, as a fan, it doesn't get a whole lot more fun than this. Just terrific action from both teams. A lot of players stepping up in a big way. Ryan thought about pulling it from 3. Gliding into the paint is Wiggins, but he lost the handle, and it's Trojan ball. So a nice stop in the half-court set by Trinity, and they will have a chance to enlarge their advantage to a 2-possession lead. Cooper, the native of Denver, Colorado, having a great game here. They get it to the corner. Jaden Thomas, no hesitation, bang. That time the Michael Jackson moonwalk is in fact repaid by a splashdown triple. Ryan over to Keller. Keller has it tipped away by Cooper. Bodies hit the deck. The Trojans come away with it. The active hands of Cooper creating a play once more. Nice finish by Asher Blum, using every bit of his wingspan at 6'8" to scoop that one into the basket, and the Trojans now lead by 8. Trinity turning it on at the right time. Nice pull-up J by Javaris Wiggins. Trinity will slow it down a little bit. Up by 6 to the corner. Jaden, one more time. No good off the front rim. This Anthony up ahead to Wiggins. Goes to the bucket with some conviction, and it's off his knee and out. And in the first half, we saw the upside of Wiggins hard charging to the cup as he got to the line a couple times, got some nice acrobatic finishes, but now in the second half, the downturn of that strategy as he's lost a couple possessions for his team. And every possession matters in this thing. Just feels like one of those games that could come down to the end. The Trojans trying to prevent that and garner some separation. Monte Lambert, Mr. Instant Offense, out to Jack Cahoon. On the money, that's what he does. Jack Cahoon, a terrific sniper from downtown. Can get it done on the inside, has great size for a guard. But an outstanding shooter, that's his calling card, and he gets it done there. Here's Bird. Around the Bisanthony screen. Back to Bisanthony. Has it knocked away. The Trojans want to go quickly. The Thomas is up ahead of the pack, and Jaden gets the lay-in on the feed from Keontae. Trinity starting to pull away. It's a double-digit lead now, the largest lead of the afternoon for either team. It's going to stay with Judson off the missed layup. But what a sequence by the Trojans. And doing it with the man of the hour, Xavier Cooper, getting a rest. Wiggins to inbound. He'll roll it in for Bird. Bird to the inside, pump fake, and a rebound now hauled in by Ryan. Ryan, a second go, draws the contact. Good perseverance from Antarius Ryan on the inside. One of several college transfers on this Judson team. They hit the transfer recruiting hard. Have done so effectively, getting key minutes from a lot of transfer players, including Bisanthony, Wiggins, Ryan, Sam Stewart, and Nehemiah Jones, just to name a few. Definitely recruit very strongly. Junior college and some four-year transfers. As that free throw is on the money to cut the lead down to 9. Ryan and Bisanthony will check out. Trojans putting in quality work with Cooper and Lawani off the floor. Thomas, great change of direction. Blum with a little foot drag, fake, twirling inside, gets it to Lambert. He thought about a three, now gets it to Thomas. Trinity continuing to try to penetrate. Eventually they do. It's that Thomas connection one more time. No, they're not brothers, but they might as well be. Some great chemistry from those two as Keontae feeds Jaden once again. Now miscommunication, chemistry on one end, and the utter lack of it on the other side as Bird cut, and Spires was not aware of it. The Trinity bench letting him hear it, as the Trojans are starting to feel themselves a little bit, trying to pull away. Oh, behind the back feed. Oh, what a sequence. Terrific ball movement. Jaden Thomas gets the hockey assist there behind the back, and they keep it popping till Blum gets the finish. My goodness, a highlight reel sequence started off by Jaden Thomas. Mid-range shot is good. Bird with the answer. As the Eagles seek to quell the Trojan momentum, Trinity starting to feel it, playing in front of their home crowd. They are on a roll here at Van Dixhorn. Monte Lambert over to Jaden Thomas. Thomas on the inside to Keontae Thomas. But finally a pass between those two, a little out of sequence. My goodness, what a play we witnessed moments ago. The behind the back over the head heave from Jaden Thomas to Keontae Thomas, who quickly popped it over to Asher Blum for the easy teardrop finish. What a sequence. Here's Bird looking for an answer. No good. Monte Lambert's got it off the tip. Now, my goodness, Jaden is just showing off here. All kinds of looks. Patrick Mahomes-esque with all these different passes, but no finish there, unfortunately. And now a foul called under the cylinder. It'll go against Blum. Boy, this Trojan team, one of their mottos is to play free, and that free is an acronym, but certainly even just as a word, it has a lot of meaning as well, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. They're just having a heck of a lot of fun right now. Just out here looking like it's a pickup run as the three-pointer is splashed home by Wiggins, who continues to have a nice offensive showcase. Wiggins up to 17 for the Eagles as he's helping them remain within striking distance. Under 10 minutes to go, and the Trojans are starting to feel it. Up by 9, or 8 rather, 79-71. They've turned it on the offensive end, and we've seen a couple of great spurts from them. Late in the first half, they erased their 9-point deficit and turned it into, at a time, a 6-point lead. Then here, midway through the second stanza, when their advantage was challenged, whittled all the way down to 1, the Trojans had the answer, enlarged the advantage to double digits, and now it resides at an 8-point Trinity edge. Sure, Coach Miller and his bunch aren't satisfied there. They would love to see some more scoring on what has been a brilliant afternoon for the Trojan offense. On pace to break 100 points, a feat that they've accomplished several times this year. Well, check that. They've gotten 90-plus on several occasions. But as this one will go the way of the Eagles, their high watermark is 99 points. And as I recall in that game, they would have had a chance to break the century mark. But they did not go for a last shot, I believe. We'll see if they can get to 100 fair and square this evening. Shot no good. Rebound, Jaden Thomas. Over to Keontae Thomas. Keontae, mid-range, pull-up jumper, no good. Gets his own board. Over to Cahoon. He'll pull the trigger, no good this time as well. Spires to Williams, and a nice give-and-go finish. 6-point Trinity lead. Judson finding a way to reel them in. Got to give a lot of credit to this Eagle team. Most people didn't give them much chance today, but they've come in, showed a lot of resilience. A steal here by Leonard Wilson. Wilson, Euro step as he glides to the cylinder. Great finish, and all of a sudden it's a 4-point game. Presniakovis and Nabil Kone set to check back in. Xavier Cooper remains on the bench. Here's Blum, almost had an and one. The basketball looking like a jack-in-the-box as it somehow sprung off of the tin on what looked to be a sure and one, but nonetheless 2 free throws for Asher Blum. The Trojans have done a lot of things well today, but shooting the basketball from the free throw line has not been one of them. It's very rare to see your percentage from the field, your percentage from 2, and your percentage from 3 all higher than your free throw percentage, but that's the case. Just 37% from the line, 7 out of 19. And that's a big part of why they don't have a larger advantage right now. We'll see if they can start to remedy the issue. Blum, not a bad free throw shooter, especially for his size. He is 1 for 2 from the line in his only trip today. First one money. Well, I'm a very valuable player for the Trojans. He would start at a lot of schools, but being able to have a 6'8" athletic big, can run the floor to spell your All-American Brandon Luani is such a huge weapon for any team, especially because Luani is just continuing to get more and more comfortable as he works himself back from that season-ending injury last year. So being able to bring in Blum if he's not feeling quite right, or just to manage his minutes, is very helpful for the Trojans. Here's Trey Spires putting on moves, flips it out to Bird. He'll fire from anywhere. This one's no good, though. And the Trojans snare the uncontested board. Xavier Cooper back in, and he wants to push the pace. Gets it to Lambert. Lambert's three is money. Assist number 6 for Xavier Cooper, to go along with 12 points, 9 boards. An outstanding effort. Bird looking to drive, but Presniakovis stonewalls him. Wilson to the cup, and a good finish here. Leonard Wilson providing quality minutes off the bench. He had that highlight reel triple to baptize the talented freshman Stratton Lovorn, as here's Nabil Kone off the feed. Trinity coming right back at him. It is just non-stop action from these two clubs. Continues to be that way. And speaking of, right on cue, active hands from Jack Cahoon, showing he's more than just a shooter. A very solid defender as well, as he bats that one out onto the Judson bench. This one's picked off by Cooper. Cooper looking to go all the way, gliding to the cylinder. And a nice Euro step finish. Wilson did that a couple of plays ago. Cooper says, anything you can do, I can do better. And the Trojans lead it by double digits, 88-77. Wiggins throws it away. Some miscommunication, as it looked like one of the Judson players tried to snatch it out of the air prior to it reaching its intended recipient. Here goes Cooper, looking to build on his opus today. Cooper outside. Lambert going to work. Here's Cooper, the three. When it's your night, it's your night. Take a bow, Mr. Cooper. What an afternoon. And it's 91-77. The Trojans putting on a clinic with 6 minutes still to play. Bis Anthony. Now Wilson. And he traveled with it. Made a nice move that sent Lambert sprawling, but could not finish. Well, if you came here for fireworks, you have certainly got it. Boy, this just looks like Ali and Frazier in the 15th round, slugging it out. Just pure willpower. Fatigue being overcome by determination. But in the latter stages, the Trojans seem to be overwhelming the Eagles. And we'll see if they're able to finish things off. A 14-point advantage. I believe that's their largest lead of the ball game, and they've got it with 6 minutes to play, in great position to seal this one up and get their 9th win of the campaign and pull above 500 in conference play. Cooper to Presniakovis. A little show and go as he strides inside. And an offensive foul. And I didn't see a lot of contact there from Presniakovis. But nonetheless, he will be subject to the violation. Spires. Nice move to work himself free. He dishes to Bisanthony. Gets it out to Wilson from long range, no good. Bisanthony with a nice board and finds to Isaiah Bird. Trojans not trying to let Judson get any momentum. They're going for the throat, trying to work quickly. Lambert with the jab, working against Wilson. Outside, Cooper. Fake, behind the back. Lost possession, stays with it, to the corner. Cahoon, bang! On the money, Xavier Cooper finds Jet Cahoon, and the terrific afternoons continue for both. Cahoon with 15 points, and Xavier Cooper, 8 assists to go with his 9 rebounds. Could be a very special stat line from Xavier Cooper. This one to the inside, and over the contest. Wiggins with a nice finish. He's kind of got that Iversonian mentality. Almost got the hairstyle to boot a little bit too, but he's got that, I'm just going to get to the bucket, I'm going to get mine, and we're going to find a way to score points even against these big guys, no matter what. This ball rolling out of bounds, and it'll stay with the Judson Eagles. Under 5 minutes left now. Trinity out in front by 13. Just 5 points away from a season high, and they've got nearly 5 minutes to do it. Presniakovis hopping out to nullify a wet spot on the floor as he'll check back in. Chance for Xavier Cooper today to do something very special. They shot at a triple-double off the bench. Of course, remember with the Trojan women's team last year on senior day, Taylor Habicki, a senior, and her last year with the Trojans had a triple-double off the bench. But for the Trojan men, it's certainly not something we've seen for a long time. Certainly can't recall it. And Xavier Cooper is closing in. He needs 1 more board and 2 more assists to cap an absolutely outstanding night. I mean, either way, he's been terrific, no matter what the stats end up being. And for a guy like Cooper to stuff the stat sheet like that and still have major contributions beyond the stat sheet, very impressive. Cahoon hauls in the inbound. Cooper will run the offense here, gets it to Lawani. Lawani punishing his way inside, lost the handle. Bird comes out of the pack with it. Cooper backtracking defensively. And a foul called against Cooper. Just a tough day to be a defender, as any contact, even body contact, is getting called with a fair bit of consistency. As an offensive player, I think the Trojans certainly have noted that, but as an offensive player, you've got to go put your head down, get to the cup, get to the line, and both teams have certainly done that. As much as fouls slow the game up, you certainly have to like the way that both teams have been encouraged to crash to the basket. The 1-and-1 opportunity no good, as Lawani's got the board, and here goes Cooper. Xavier Cooper working on a pretty impressive afternoon. So's this guy, Presniakovis, and this guy. Just about every Trojan has been eating to the tune of 94 points in total. Thomas out to Cooper. Cooper drives, dishes, and a travel's going to be called against Xavier Cooper, negating what would have been his 9th assist. And an unfortunate sequence there, working against Trinity, as well as Cooper's personal gain. There's Wiggins, and this time an ill-advised shot, but Cooper can't corral. Under 4 minutes to go, the Trojans closing in on their 5th conference victory. Bird against Cahoon. Draws the double to the corner. Here's Wiggins trying to blast past Presniakovis, but the pass is offline. Spires to Bisanthony. Firing away, no good. Air ball grabbed by Presniakovis. Well, here goes Cooper. Resniakovas on the wing. Cahoon as they continue to traverse the perimeter. Cooper to the inside. Scoop shot a little too strong. Maybe anticipating some contact there. And a rare miss on an impressive afternoon from him. Lawani Skies for the contest. Rebound Keller. That was swatted. Now a three for Bird. No good here. And a foul under the basket. It will stay with Judson. Perhaps the officials were looking to strengthen their diaphragms today with the amount that they have been huffing and puffing on those whistles. But one way or another, Judson hasn't been able to make the Trojans pay on the last couple. Missing a couple of 1-and-1s here late, which are key opportunities to stop the clock and get back into this game. Keontae Thomas kicks to Cahoon, and it settles in. That one sifts through the goal, a triple by Jack Cahoon. An impressive evening from him. He's got 18 for the Trojans. Wiggins lost his dribble, had it poked free, now gets it out to Spires. A Scooby-Doo from Bird. He lost the handle. Here's Hooper. Gets it to Thomas, who will get to the line. So unfortunately, no assist. That won't show up in the box score, but another great pass from Xavier Cooper. Cooper's still stuck on 9 boards and 8 dimes. And what has been a sensational effort with 150 ticks left in this contest. The Trojans by 16, looking to continue to pull away. Actually remarkable, as that free throw is no good. They are 9 for 22 from the free throw line. And they've put up 97 points. One of the most perplexing factoids. And that's why we love sports so much, right? You know, you watch the same sport day in and day out, and every day it feels like you see something you've never seen before. There's Thomas bringing that free throw percentage up a little bit, but I certainly don't think that Coach Miller would have expected that his team would put up what, if they score 2 more points, will be their season high in a game where they shot potentially under 50% from the charity stripe. Here's Spires, put himself on skates there. Now it's poked away. Up front of the pack to Thomas. He'll hold it up. Lobs it over to Cahoon. Why not pull the trigger again? No good for Jack Cahoon. Just rimmed out. Spires quickly to Wiggins. The pace has not slowed down at all. Keller, no good. Thomas has the board. Cooper will slow it down as there's 2 minutes remaining. Judson senses the urgency. They're pressing now. Lawani over to Cahoon. Cahoon flings it over to Keontae Thomas. Thomas holding, 10 on the shot clock for Thomas. 100 seconds remain in the ballgame. Here goes Cooper. He's had it all afternoon long. Sauces his way to the bucket. And the Trojans have hit 100 for the first time this year. Xavier Cooper's special night continues. Off the bench, 17, 9, and 8 for the star fifth-year Trojan. A terrific all-around effort from this Trinity team. Here goes Wiggins. He's got to continue to press now. Nice find on the inside as Damon Pierce Jr. gets the bucket. Stolen away here, and it's going to go the way of the Trojans. A little bit of sloppiness there late with this thing practically in hand. And now here comes some of the reserves. The Trojans calling off the dogs. Braden Betzner will check in. Nabil Kone back in. Stratton Lovorn. Christian Crayenbull. And Aaron Sufru got the start today. Back in for the first time in a while. Here's Lovorn to Kone. Kone spinning on the inside. They work it to Crayenbull. Now Lovorn on the drive, rises and fires, and no good. Rebound by Jack Keller. I will say, Braden Betzner pulled up today wearing a Larry Bird jersey. There's certainly some similarities between him as he dimes up Lovorn for the bucket. Between him and the hick from French Lick, you can see it with the curly blonde hair, both sharpshooters from three, as Kone with what was nearly a highlight reel block, but a foul called. But we'll get a chance to see if Braden Betzner is going to demonstrate that Larry Bird-esque strap in a couple of minutes here. 40 seconds left in this one. Boy, Nabil Kone, that man can take flight at will. And he very nearly had an emphatic block on Damon Price, but instead gets whistled for the foul. Price has missed the first one, looking for the second. He has got it. And the Trojans putting the finishing touches on what has been an outstanding victory here. A victory they needed, especially after dropping their ball game last time out in pretty unfortunate and decisive fashion, ceding 104 points to Olivet Nazarene. Now they got a chance to put that figure up as Judson becomes the object of their wrath. Kone with the turnaround, Jay. It's no good. Betzner skying for the board. He's got it. Shot clock still on for the moment, and a travel will be called as Betzner hits the deck. But it's all cosmetic at this point. The Trojans put up over 100. They get the victory against Judson. A huge bounce-back win. It'll be their 9th win on the season, 2 games above the 500 mark, their 5th conference victory. A special night for several Trojans, including the star of the show, Xavier Cooper. Got a foul under the bucket, so one final play before this one is signed, sealed, and delivered. Gives us a chance to recount some of the outstanding performances we've witnessed today. Jaden Thomas off the bench, 12 points, 5 of 8 from the field, 2 triples. Jack Cahoon with 18 points on an uber-efficient 7 of 11 and 4 of 6 from 3. Presniakovas with 12 points provided a big spark at a much-needed time to start the second half when the Trojans were losing some of their momentum. Brandon Lawani with 15. And, of course, Xavier Cooper was the man tonight with 17 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists. Great win for the Trojans. They bounce back in emphatic fashion. A terrific ball game. And the Trojans emerge victorious here in their return to Van Dixhorn Arena. So thank you very much for joining us. A fun afternoon of basketball here from Bannockburn, Illinois. The Trojans men get it done. The women falter but show some more positive signs. And hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. This is Ethan Oskroba. I am signing off. Enjoy your evening. Trojans get it done in the nightcap.